Berlin is famous for places like this. But here is something surprising about this city. Berlin doesn't really have just one historic center.
Despite it is February and we have pretty cool weather in Berlin, and it is really the first time we can actually have fun. And then
In our last video, we discovered something unexpected. A medieval old town hidden inside Berlin. That place is called Spandau. Today we are walking through the historic heart of the city.
in the fair weather it makes sense to get to the tower and have 360-degree view and maybe have a sunset also.
It's worth it.
But before we even reach the famous places, there is something small that always catches your eye. Look at the pedestrian lights, those tiny characters, the famous Ampelmännchen, a real symbol of Berlin, and I love it. Did you notice them the first time you visited the city? As you walk a little further, the view suddenly opens up. The Berliner Dom. This cathedral was finished in 1905, and even today it still feels incredibly powerful standing here. This entry area is called Museum Island. 5 huge museums on one small island in the river.
It is quite hard to describe a city from a tourist point of view since you live here for quite some time, and nevertheless we're gonna do our best to describe it during our walk.
When you walk here, it almost feels like an open-air museum.
Berlin is so multifaceted, and actually modern art is not the only side we've shown you before. Like there are more than 170 different kinds of museums and about 300 galleries.
Massive staircases, ancient sculptures, historic buildings everywhere you look.
Berlin is one of the museum capitals of the world, and currently we are on a museum island where 5 of the most fascinating museums are placed.
The idea started in the 19th century. Back then, Berlin's rulers wanted this island to become a center of art and culture. And somehow that idea still works today. Have you ever visited a place where the architecture alone makes you slow down?
vibe Berlin. I love it. How do you feel?
Quite good actually. This is how the Museum Island looks like.
As you walk around Museum Island for a while, you somehow end up back at the Berliner Dome again.
Everything feels differently when the sun starts shining after the long grey winter. So if you have an idea to visit Berlin, it's much better to do it in a warm summer period.
Berlin Dome is one of those buildings you keep seeing through different angles. Every time it looks a little different. And it's honestly hard not to stop and film it again.
Another wonderful way to explore Berlin is from water.
The city has a surprising number of rivers and canals. So boats slowly drift through the center all days, and watching them pass by almost make you want to see the city from the angle too.
We believe street music adds additional charm to every city.
Travel is never only about the landmarks. It's about the atmosphere around them.
One woman in Stockholm told us once that our faces are much happier on the sun, and she is so true.
The people, street musician playing nearby, the sound of the city in the background. Those little moments often become the best memories from the trip. And just a few steps away you discover places like this. Quiet country yards hidden behind the busy streets. Berlin is full of these little hidden pockets. And just when you think the walk is becoming normal, Berlin reminds you where you are. man on a bicycle pretending to be a fox. And soon another famous landmark appears. You have probably seen this place in photos 100 times. The Brandenburg Gate. But standing here in person still feels different. This gate has witnessed almost every chapter of Berlin's history. Empires, wars, division, and finally reunification. Today it's one of the strongest symbols of a united Germany. Just a short walk away stands the Reichstag, Germany Parliament building. The glass dome above it was added after reunification.
I'm on the opposite side of the Bundestag, and you actually can get in the Bundestag absolutely free. You need to reserve your spot 3 or 6 months before.
Inside the Reichstag, it's actually really beautiful. You can even walk up into the glass dome of the roof, and from the top you get a fantastic view of the Berlin. And from the river nearby, the view becomes surprisingly calm. Water, ducks, and the quiet rhythm of the city.
We really like this spot. You need to take a cup of coffee and relax.
Berlin isn't just one city center. It's many different places. In our last video, we explored Spandau, a medieval town hidden inside Berlin. Today, we walk through the historic heart of the city. And next time, we are going somewhere even more unexpected. The one more old town inside Berlin, with a castle and a story that almost sounds unbelievable. That place is called Köpenick. See you next time.